Insider sources report that an Ethereum futures ETF is set to be approved by the SEC, all but confirming that Ethereum is not deemed a security in the United States. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said anymore for XRP, as the judge granted the SEC's request for an appeal in the Ripple XRP case, meaning that this will most likely go back to court and the SEC could in fact win with this ruling in their favor. Now, it's not all bad news for Ripple, as they were selected to participate in Mastercard's program to promote digital currency innovation, and this comes just 2 months after Quant CEO Gilbert Verdian confirmed the crypto project's work with Mastercard, who built and tested new digital currency payment flows through the Quant overledger. You can expect to hear about all of this and more in today's daily market update. I do want to hop into the alt section of this video, as there are definitely some very important things to get through, and the first one here is that Ripple and Consensus, who is the owner of MetaMask, are set to participate in a Mastercard program to promote CBDC innovation. So Mastercard is forming a partnership program with 7 prominent blockchain and payment technology providers to bring a greater understanding of the benefits and limitations of CBDCs. Mastercard did not share specific plans for the group, but it mentioned many current buzzwords in the CBDC sphere. So security, privacy, interoperability, private sector, driving innovation and efficiencies. And Mastercard head of digital assets and blockchain Raj said in the statement, as we look toward a digitally driven future, it will be essential that value held as a CBDC is easy to use as other forms of money. So the Mastercard program will bring together companies that have already contributed to CBDC development in various ways, and basically they are looking to see how they can actually implement CBDCs into their payment rails there through their Visa cards. And we can see here based on this chart, so it's showing you how Mastercard is exploring the CBDC ecosystem in 2023. And we know that the Bank of England and the BIS Innovation Hub were basically working on how APIs could facilitate retail CBDC payments. And this is very interesting because we know that it was actually confirmed they were working with Quant on testing payment flows through the Quant overledger. And we're going to touch on that in just a couple of minutes, as we do need to talk about some very wacky, volatile price action for Quant. But the first thing I do want to discuss is the fact that the judge actually granted the SEC's request for an appeal in the Ripple XRP case. And that's why I do basically believe XRP has round-tripped from the pump, because people are beginning to realize that this decision may not actually be final. So Judge Torres simply accepted the application request, and now the SEC will need to come up with a convincing justification to present to the Second Circuit, and Ripple will also have the opportunity to file their appeal against the SEC's appeal. So basically, it looks very likely that this case is in fact going back to court. And you guys know we actually reported the first time that it was announced XRP won this lawsuit. We did say here that we bought XRP at about 60 cents. And then you can see here on July 13th, seeing lots of consolidation at 80 cents for XRP. So I've fully taken profits, will take a 33% gain intraday. And then I tweeted here, I cold tweeted it because a lot of people were calling for $1. I saw people calling for new all-time highs. And I said, this is exactly why we take profits, and don't listen to Moon Boys screaming for new all-time highs. Yes, I am bullish on XRP long term, but no room for personal bias / emotions when it comes to trading. And definitely very glad we took profits at 80 cents. I think it topped out at about 85 cents. And had we continued to hold, we would actually now be down on our position. So we did take profits there at that 80-cent zone. I am still bullish on Ripple and XRP long term, but just based on the trade and the fact that it was up almost double on the day, I did feel comfortable taking profits there. So definitely very glad that I did so, and congratulations to anybody else who did take on that trade. Now, I do want to talk about Quant and Mastercard, as we did just discuss Ripple and Mastercard. And the big thing I want to talk about here is the fact that, yes, while Mastercard is in fact partnering up here with Ripple and Consensus, they have already worked with Quant on CBDC payment flows. And this is the tweet from Quant CEO Gilbert Verdian, who basically says, I'm incredibly proud to announce that Quant Network has been collaborating with the BIS and the Bank of England on Project Rosalind, a project designing and implementing a CBDC API and platform and testing use cases for CBDCs with financial services participants. The project has produced tangible, real-world examples that tested how CBDCs could support a more digitalized economy in the future, working with participants like Bank of Canada, Barclays, Mastercard, and Amazon, who built and tested new CBDC payment flows on the platform. Now, following this, I found it very interesting that Mastercard recently announced their multi-token network, or MTN, which is, quote, making transactions more secure, scalable, and interoperable. I said here, I wonder what DLT they are using to facilitate their MTN payment flows. I definitely do suspect that this is in fact the Quant Overledger, as it does also allow for interoperability of these tokenized assets, meaning that via the Quant Overledger, you can actually create your own digital currencies and then bridge them to the blockchain of your choice that is supported by the Quant Overledger. And what does this mean for the Quant token itself? Well, Quant is a utility token used as a form of payment for Quant network services, most notably as a way for Overledger users to pay their fees. Therefore, greater adoption of Overledger equals more demand for the Quant token. Now, I do want to wrap things up talking about both the XRP and Quant chart, because despite the strong fundamentals of these projects, we are still in the middle of a choppy accumulation year that has definitely not been nice to the altcoin market. However, I do think this presents some very interesting buying opportunities potentially in the near future. And I am expecting one more dump here for the markets in Q4. Definitely something I personally am looking forward to, because I am waiting for that one nice buying opportunity before the Bitcoin halving finally takes place next year. And I do genuinely think that, even after loading up throughout majority of the bear market last year, as well as during the accumulation phase this year, that we really have a very limited window of time to buy before the bull market does resume. Now, what I'm seeing when it comes to XRP is something very interesting. I actually think that this range right here in between 40 cents and about 90 cents is a very crucial range for this project, right? So looking on a year-to-date basis, you can actually see, if we scroll back out to the bear market here, that this 42-cent area acted as a very important area of support and resistance for XRP. So we initially broke below this level in June of 2022 when the entire market was falling there. That's when Bitcoin actually made its June low before it made its second low in November. And we can see here that XRP actually had trouble getting above 42 cents. It popped back above it very briefly, running all the way up to about 55 cents. And then once again found itself back below this level, getting rejected. Now here, a second time, it broke above it and back tested it as a level of support. So clearly this 42 cent area is very important for XRP. And given that we are in the middle of this trading range, I do believe that XRP most likely wants to make its way back down to 42 cents. And given where we are at the moment, right, I mean, XRP is currently sitting at about 49 cents, just under 50 cents. We'd be talking about another, 15% drop more or less. And I really don't think that that is too out of the ordinary. So if I see XRP at 42 cents, that is the next price target I am looking for. Now below that, if we do see some sort of wider spread, market panic, we see the market fall a lot harder than expected. Personally, I think there are two important areas to watch. The next one sits at about the 30-cent level there, where you can also see lots of demand, and bargain basement prices, in my opinion, would be sitting at the 15-cent range. Personally, I don't think 15 cents is more likely. I think that 30 cents is the more likely opportunity here, but just waiting for XRP to actually make its way back down to 42 cents first, and that's what I'm waiting for when it does come to XRP. If you are an XRP holder, you definitely have learned patience, because this coin hit an all-time high back in 2018 at about, $3.80. The previous bear market high came in here at about $2 more or less. So XRP has actually been making lower highs since its first all-time high there in 2018. And, given the regulatory clarity with the SEC, this could be the bear market to turn things around. So that's what I'm looking for when it comes to XRP. Now, when it comes to Quant, okay, there are a couple of things. Really just one big thing I am looking for when it comes to Quant, and that is that $100 zone, okay? We have spoken about this being easy money over the past year, right? In fact, if I zoom out here to a 1-year chart, it was basically exactly a year ago today that Quant did go on that monster run in the middle of a bear market from, about $100 all the way up to 228. Obviously, this move was kind of muted after based on the FTX collapse in November, but Quant went on a crazy run here off that $100 area of support. And I say crazy, relative to crypto, 100% move is really not a big deal. But when we were in the middle of a bear market and Bitcoin and all the majors were flat and Quant was ripping, there were a ton of eyes on this project. So given the market environment that we were in, it was a very big move for Quant. And since then, we can see how many times Quant has bounced off of that level, okay? In November, from 100 up to 122, a nice 20% swing trade. And then once again in late November, from 100 up to 130, a nice 30% swing trade. Looking on a year-to-date basis, it actually started off with a nice 60% rally from 100 up to 160. And then again here in May from 100 up to 118. Then we had 100 up to 113, 100 up to 105. And you can see here that while $100 did act as a very important area of support, that ever since the new year started, Quant has only been making a set of lower highs. And this is inherently bearish, right? Because it shows us that even though there is demand at the $100 level, that people are willing to sell at lower and lower prices, hence all of this selling pressure. Now, the one area I am looking for is the $85 zone, okay? When we saw the crypto market, I don't want to say flash crash because that was not the case at all, but when we did see the market really make an aggressive move to the downside here, this coincided with Bitcoin's drop from like 28,000 down to 25, 26. Quant actually bounced perfectly off of the $85 zone here. Apparently, not everybody saw this on exchanges, but this is according to the KuCoin chart. And you can see just how quickly the dip was bought up at that level, right? It basically hit $85 here according to KuCoin, and then within the same day ran all the way back up to $96. And zooming out a little bit further here on the Quant chart, if you actually take a look at that run that we spoke about in last September, before that we did see Quant run off of that $85 zone here. So the argument could be made that $100 was not the springboard, but it was actually $85. And there definitely is some validity to that argument, as it also went from 85 up to 130 here, and that was in August of last year, right? Like from that $85 zone, we saw a 55% rally up to that 130 area, and then once again here, we saw a run up there to 228 for a nice 160% move. So keeping my eye for sure here on XRP going down to that low 40-cent range, Quant all the way down to $85. And obviously not financial advice, but just personally what I am looking for on the charts. And I do hope you enjoyed the content in today's video. So you know what to do. If you made it all the way to the end, you are an absolute champion. Let me know in the YouTube comments down below and claim that champion status. I am wishing you all an amazing Sunday, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.